Hey, what's going on, you guys? Jerry Trades back in another YouTube video. And on today's video, I really want to make this as a relatable post, something that really we can all connect about. I am a big believer in helping people because me growing up, I know many of you guys don't know my story, but at 17 years old, I left my mother's house and I began sleeping on my friends' couches, understanding that life is not easy at all. I had to work minimum wage jobs, build myself up to start saving, more importantly, building that nest egg so I could take the next step in building my business, which was a detailing company. I worked hard labor jobs like construction, working 2 jobs and managing my business at the same time to be able to grow enough income for me to start taking investing and trading more serious, to be able to create finally a financial result where I can live in my own apartment. But the story, the timeline, the suffering, everything that I had to deal with to get here is unbearable. And I understand how hard it is growing up in environments where you don't have examples, where you don't have help, with all your friends and everyone that you're growing up with, kind of in la la land. They're all partying, they're all having fun, asking themselves, what are we gonna go out to eat? Where are the games? Where are we gonna go ahead and party? All of that stuff affects the youth in so many people's lives in ways they don't even recognize it. See, time is the one thing we don't get back. So it's very important you guys manage how it is you guys are investing it while you're young, because the actions you take today will compound into your future later. And this is a hard lesson that I learned the hard way, but I'm glad I was able to catch it in time to change my life. And today's video, I want you guys to understand that that struggle, that suffering, everything, that feeling that life is never going to change, that life is too hard, that it feels impossible, it's a part of it. It's not normal. It's unique to a lot of individuals. Me, myself, I live with a lot of trauma. I live with a lot of fear, and I guess you can say doubts in my life. I had to overcome many self-limiting beliefs because of my environment to push myself to the next level, to be able to generate my own business, which has now made me $70,000 till date. And this is a really big change in my life from couch surfing at 17 years old. Not a lot of people live with this trauma. A lot of my friends, a lot of people can't relate to my story. And that's why I built SoCal Trading Group. That's why I started this YouTube channel, because I know how it feels to be alone. I know how it feels to not have much light or guidance or hope in your life. I know what it's like to continue the same day-to-day pattern and just losing motivation and not being able to see a bigger picture for your life because of what your environment or what your current situation is like. And I'm here to tell you that the ages 17 to 25 years old are going to be the hardest moments of your life. See, many of us, not just yourself, struggle. We're figuring out what it is we want to do with life. Some of us went to college, invested years into a career that we did not expect it to be what we thought it was when we first started as kids from high school, and now we're stuck at that career working repetitively. Others fell in love with their career. There's also individuals at 17, 25 years old, you're probably going to find your first relationships. You invested a lot of time into a relationship, it fell apart. You're dealing with heartbreak, you're dealing with, moving on and finding your partner, starting to prepare and think about your family. Now maybe you're starting to believe, hey, how am I going to buy my home? How am I going to start my first business? Asking yourself a lot of adult questions around this age, understanding that life is not all rainbows and sunshine, and that there is a big responsibility upon all of us to be able to develop an independent living. Not everyone has parents or big brothers or uncles or successful people to help guide them. I've been through my own share of suffering, and I would love to share any advice that has helped me to be able to help you guys. And that's what I believe in. I believe in paying it forward, because God forbid anything happens to me, the advice, the experience, and everything that I've been through, it might be enough to help someone else. So I hope that you guys understand that you are not alone, that this period of your life is going to be extremely challenging, but one thing that you have to begin to endure and develop for yourself is most definitely the skill set of asking for help. This is an underrated part of your life that will change everything. Most people, they try to figure out so much on their own and they never ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. You're not any weaker, you're not any poorer, you're not any different. People in this life feel an obligation to help. I know I do. So some people will help you in your life, whether it's starting a new career, landing a new job. Ask for help. It's going to be a very big important factor in your life to be able to ask the right people for help that can open up doors and opportunities for you to begin moving forward. And this is a key component that changed my life. See, when I was homeless at 17, I didn't have a place to stay. I left in my car and I was sleeping in my car until I asked my friends for help and they let me sleep on their couches. Pretty traumatic, a tough situation that I lived at such a young age, but it developed me to be who I am today. So asking for help is a key component to beginning to change your life. The world is not mean. The world is not a bunch of douchebags that want to see you fail and don't care about you. There's some people in this world that have a really good heart and a really good mind that want to help you pay it forward and move and get your own taste of success. There's enough money for everyone, so there's no reason for someone else not to help you. Be careful who you hang around with as well. The second component is going to be your friends and your family and your environment. Surround yourself with people that support you. Some of us have crazy ideas while we're young that we want to make into a reality. Many others might think it's impossible. Some people, just don't have enough hope or faith in you that you could potentially pull it off. And that's very important. Surround yourself with people that are supportive of you and your desire and what you want out of life. It's very hard, but that support can go a very long way. And if you know anyone that's on their journey, trying to figure life out, has an idea, support them, encourage them to keep on going, because you don't know how that person can inspire someone else or begin to change their life and sooner or later come back and help you. So that's a big component in life. Your environment and who you surround yourself with is key. There's a biblical quote out there that says, "He who walks with the wise will be wise. He who walks with the fools will soon be destroyed." And it's true. You have to pick your influences better. The friends, don't go out every weekend drinking. Don't go out every weekend trying to find the UFC fights, the entertainment, going out to eat. All of that is short-term dopamine. Find yourself real friends that want to build businesses, want to start new journeys that can create more income, want to go work out, want to go do new things that could better them, new skill sets. Get out there. This is very easier said than done. Growing up, I did not have a lot of friends with their screws in their head for me to figure out how to start making my life better. And this is the third part. Many of us don't have those friends, so you have to start developing accountability. Accountability is very important because it allows us to do the hard work when no one else is watching. See, me making these videos, there's no one watching me right now. I have to take the accountability to be able to share my message and put my thoughts out there, to connect with individuals like you, to grow my platform, to meet new people. And that's what life's about. The accountability is a very hard factor. See, there's always this famous quote that you're going to hear in life, no one's going to come and save you. And I wish it wasn't true, but it is. That accountability of you taking that next step. I want to tell you guys that making content, picking up your phone, talking to it, sharing your story, sharing your thoughts can build a connection and build something for you that no other human or in-person connection can do for you. See, when you guys record and post it online, you have the opportunity to connect with 10, 15 people all at the same time. You don't know if one of those people would want to participate or support you or maybe help you on your journey. And that's very important that you guys begin to think like this, because it's going to create more hope in your life. Instead of being so negative, thinking that this is the way life is and this is your life for the rest of your life, you're going to begin to have hope. Sharing your story now more than ever online is a big component to changing your life. It has helped countless individuals reshape their lives. I've seen influencers go from zero to now living very comfortable, successful lives, and they are helping others. So now more than ever is it very important for you to build that confidence. It might be a little bit uneasy, it might be a little bit hard and uncomfortable, but do it. Put yourself out there, because you don't know who's watching and who wants to support you when you finally make it. And that's a very important factor that I had no one tell me growing up, but when I started doing it, yes, I said a lot of foolish things. I was very immature when I started, but I began to become more aware, more mature, more responsible behind the influence and the audience I was putting my message out to. And it finally created change for me to allow myself to connect with individuals at a different level and grow my business and finally provide for myself financially. Financial independence should be your goal and your primary target throughout the early years of your life. See, calculate what your cost of living is. What are you paying for rent? What are you paying for your cars, your gas, your insurance, your phone bills, all your basic needs? Calculate that number. Draw it on your notebook or on your journal or on a whiteboard and target that number. If your job can make you half of it, look for a sales opportunity. Getting into sales is a great way to build confidence. Surround yourself with other hungry individuals. There's a lot of job listings online for sales gigs. You'll find multiple sales teams online that will train you and support you throughout your journey. This will help get you out there and create more income. Maybe starting that business idea, any little idea that you think so, man, it could potentially make you money. There's a lot of insane businesses out there. One of my buddies that runs advertisements ran into a business owner that specializes in bringing strollers to airports for parents that can't travel with their strollers. They drop them off at the airport. The individual uses them. Once they're done, they drop them off. That business alone is doing $40 million a year. I bet you those guys never thought that they would make that much money when they first started that idea. But look, the money is in the niches. No one would have ever thought of that. And now they're making $40 million a year. And my buddy helps run ads for them. This is a really big component to your guys' development and structure. Understand that no idea is a bad idea. And every idea that you guys have that you guys don't take action on is just lowering your production, your confidence, your idea in believing in yourself. So take it forward. Even if it doesn't work, man, just try it, put it out there. If it fails, bro, keep it going until you get a spark of hope. If that fails, think of another idea, back to the drawing board and start again. There's countless millionaires and successful individuals out there that had to accept their losses. They put all their earnings and savings into this business. It failed. They had to go back and work a job, try all over again, and they finally succeeded with the second idea. It takes people multiple tries to be able to develop success and true change in their lives. So don't be afraid or discouraged when you don't get it right the first time. Me, myself, I started a detailing business. It did not provide for me the way I thought it was. It was very time consuming. What I was making was basically the same as what I was making at a job. So I decided to push into another business. And this business became SoCal Trading Group. And it began to change and shape my life to what it is today. So I'm very confident in sharing my own story that, hey, you guys can have the same experience, but don't get discouraged. And make sure that you guys, I think the fifth component that's very important here is watch the content that you consume. A lot of individuals try to look at funny content, sports betting content, influencers that are just famous with a lot of following, but no one really picks up the motivational, the self-development, the working out content, the business content, the sales content. All of that content has a lot of self-development into it and ideas that can help you think differently to begin maybe just taking more chances or viewing life a little bit differently for you to start switching gears and changing your financial situation. So pick the content you consume very wisely. I know there's a lot of distractions. You have music saying very inappropriate and crazy things nowadays. Watch what you listen to. It will feed your mind, and what you feed your mind feeds into your reality. So pick your influences wisely. Many people neglect this. They think that listening to that music and all this content is normal, and this is what life is, and this is la la land for me. No, no, no. There's millionaires and there's billionaires in this world that will never play anything that majority of these individuals stuck listen to. They focus on motivational, purpose, drive, businesses, investments, I guess you can say change. They want to impact the world. That creates a very successful individual. So begin to shape your thoughts differently to begin to shape your reality differently. See, the mind is a beautiful thing. The thoughts that you have in your head are a little factory. If you feed bad thoughts and negative and a bunch of distractions into your mind, your reality is going to be a bunch of negative and distractions in your mind. But if you begin to feed it positive mindset, working out, going into business, sales, going into marketing, understanding investment opportunities, ways of creating more income, those thoughts begin to trigger different reactions in your mind. Different ideas lead to different actions lead to different results, finally leading you to create change in your life. And this is a big change that no one talks to young individuals or adults about. They all just tell them, go line up at a job, work your job, save your money, buy a house, and goodbye. That's the most advice we'll ever get. And there's a difference now in life more than ever. You have to be open-minded to what you are capable of. Because there's a saying out there, I love this, I listen to Jim Rohn all the time. If you work for someone else and work for your job, you will make a living. But if you work for yourself and build something, you will make a fortune. And that's a quote that I live by. I really do and love it, and I pair that with the quote from Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki that says that the rich don't work for money, money works for them. It begins to shape my psychology at just 17, 18 years old when I read this to think differently and believe in a new set of opportunities than what my parents and uncles and grandparents were living. And now my life is just a little bit different, right? I'm not a millionaire with Lamborghinis or a mansion yet, but I am most definitely a little bit more developed in my mind because of what I chose to feed it when I was so young. And this is a big component. Not everyone knows about this, but when you're young, your brain has a specific power to it. Biologically, it's known as neuroplasticity. You guys could do all the research you want on it, but when you're younger, your brain is more malleable. It picks up on things. It learns faster than ever. So trying to learn a second language in your 20s is going to be a lot easier than trying to learn a second language in your 30s. Your brain begins to slow down the learning capabilities, especially if you guys are smoking vapes and smoking weed and drinking alcohol. You're probably going to be impacting your learning ability pretty significantly. So watch your habits. Watch what you do to your biological mind. Aside from the thoughts of it, the biological side is just as important. But while you're young, you have the power and neuroplasticity to be able to adapt, learn new things, and reshape your psychology like never before. See, the 20-year-old fresh out of college, he's going to be more open to a bunch of other opportunities than the 40-year-old that's been stuck at the same job doing the same thing for the last 15 years. If you tell the 20-year-old about this opportunity that can make him more money and make him more successful, he's going to be more open to it. The 40-year-old is going to have a lot more resistance because of the same life he's been repeating for so long. He's not going to have that same belief, that same hope, or that same ability to learn that new skill set unless he really, really pushes himself. But at 20, you don't need to exert yourself too much. You just need to like what you're doing enough for you to do it, experience it, practice it, and then you get better to be able to create the result. But there's no better age to get started than from 17 to 25. And I give you guys this as a warning because there's many people that take this age for granted. They play games, they he, ha, ha, ha their whole way, and they live a result in their lives that I'm telling you comes with severe consequences. So be very careful. And I hope this video is able to provide a little bit more awareness and guidance into the young adults that are out there to be able to reshape their minds and think a little bit differently. See, I promise you, the way that I've been able to change has created a result and change in my life unlike all the other individuals that I went to school with. And I'm very proud to be where I am. I've worked extremely hard, but I'm not arrogant enough to say my job here is done. And I'm not selfish enough to not want to come back and make these videos and help people like yourself. And it's not easy by any means. It is damn hard, bro. But don't tell yourself that it's damn hard. Just hard right now. Later on, if you keep doing something about it and just trying, man. Trying doesn't mean posting a motivational thing on your Instagram or watching this YouTube video that makes you feel good. Trying means actually doing something. Maybe it's messaging 5 people a day about your business idea. Maybe it's going to the whiteboard and building a business plan. Maybe it's saving your first dollars to buy that first piece of equipment. Maybe it's saving your first dollars to make that first investment. Maybe it's just going from becoming a spender to a saver. Little changes in your life will create drastic impact as they compound throughout your lifetime. And I hope this video is able to translate a message the way I intended it to help all of you guys hopefully just take a better step while we're young to build a better future. And that's what I believe in. That's why I built SoCal Trading Group. And that's why I started Jerry's Trading YouTube channel, because man, the world is a rough spot. And without this guidance, without this help, it's not going to get any better. So no one ever did it for me. I'm not a genius. I'm not this ultra successful individual, but I have been able to create change in my life and I believe in helping others do the same thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching and all the support on this channel. All of you guys that want to get into investing, I have made a brand new Instagram, Jerry Diaz Invest, that you guys can give a follow and support. I thank you guys all for, just giving me your time, and hopefully this message impacts you in the way I intended it to. And all of you guys have a wonderful evening. Jerry Trades the SoCal Trading Group, over and out.